Hey guys, Tim here, Big Dog Forge. Welcome back to the shop. It's good to see you again. We got a letter, and in this letter it says, "Hope this note finds you well and in good health. Rob over at Granddad's Forge had the enclosed piece made for you. He approached me about making a leather case for it. I do make sheaths for my knives, but I'm otherwise not a leather worker. But I said I'd give it a shot. So now there's no excuse for you not to be able to mark your work." Well, I wanted to say thanks to Rob over at Granddad's Forge. Thank you very much. This is like super cool. And I don't mark a lot of my work simply because I just haven't had a touch mark. Now I do. No excuse, right? So thank you so much. And on top of that, Jim Patterson over at Big Jim's Forge made a case for it. Look at that, in the shape of a dog bone. Big Dog Forge. Hanging on a nail. Look at that. Very cool, guys. Thank you so very much. Really appreciate this. I put this off simply because I didn't know which direction to go. It's been years since I've had a touch mark of any kind. So thank you. And I'll start touch marking my work. And both of you can look forward to getting something with this touch mark on it. So thanks, guys. Really appreciate it so very much. Okay, so on with the video. This time around, guys, we're going to do something a little bit different. A lot of friends and acquaintances who do vintage vehicles, and when they have something that's bent or twisted or something that needs to be straightened out, sometimes they'll bring that to me, and I'll fab pieces or straighten them out. This time around, we're going to forge some tools so we can straighten out a radiator support for a 55 Ford pickup truck. So stick with me, guys. This should be fun. Alright guys, this is our radiator support out of our 55 Ford pickup truck, and it's a little twisted and bent. We're going to see what we can do about fixing that. So I put it in the vise and kind of twisted it around to see where we're at, and this thing's made out of about 14 gauge sheet metal. It's been stamped out, got a couple of riveted parts on it we're going to have to fix. So we are going to make ourselves a Hardy tool for the anvil out of this guy. Need to narrow it up a little bit for the press on the power hammer. This is 3 1/8 inches wide by 1 1/8 inch thick, and we're going to forge out the Hardy hole portion of this, the stake, to 1 1/4 inch square. So we'll get it started here, and we'll get ourselves a little kiss block to put under there. There's our Hardy hole on the big anvil. It's 1 1/4 inches, and want to make it fit that. So we'll knock these corners down a little bit, get it to fit a little bit better, and we'll have to narrow this up a little bit. This is going to fit inside the channel of our radiator support, and the channel is about 2.5 inches. So we're going to bring this down to about 2 1/4 wide. So it'll fit up inside the channel. We're a little bit crooked there. We'll clamp it down, wag it with a hammer, get it straight again, and we'll cut this guy off. Got our old tool stuck. There we go. I'll bend this guy off. This stuff's hot. It doesn't want to break off too easily. But there we go. We're good. Alright, we'll get this thing into the anvil. Yeah, we'll size it a little bit more here. We'll get it into the anvil, and we'll start working that shoulder down where it sits on the anvil. And we'll go all 4 directions here because we'll be using this thing in a bunch of different directions on this particular surround. Now this is just mild steel, and it's pretty much a one-time use tool, but I'm sure we'll find other uses for it as time goes on. I tend to build a tool for something and end up using it for something else most of the time anyway. So alright, we're going to come up off the anvil about 2 inches and give this thing a 90-degree, and Floyd the press there is going to do a pretty good job for us getting this most of the way. We'll do some of this by hand. There we go. We'll just get it over to our 90 degrees, straighten it up, and square off that radius a little bit. We're going to use some of that radius. This thing has some radius corners in it, and we'll be able to use a little bit of that on the inside of those. And really what this is going to be is basically a glorified body dolly for sheet metal work. And I'll do most of that sheet metal work cold, simply because it's some long smooth bends. We don't have a whole bunch of sharp little, you know, ripped or torn sheet metal. And we'll get this guy cleaned up with the grinder. There was a couple of divots. I put a couple of little spot welds in with the MIG welder because I didn't want to grind it down too far. And there we go. We can get our radiator surround right over that and start bumping it back into place. Now this is where it bolts down to the cross member in the front of the truck, and it was bent back pretty badly, so it was all distorted. And this will take a little bit of work, but we'll be able to get it pretty close to where it was originally. And the anvil seems to be the perfect tool for all this. And we've only got one area that has a little crack in it, a little crease, and we'll be able to MIG weld that up and grind it back down. Now these bolt holes, they got some carriage bolts that hold this on in areas with little rubber mounts, are split out on the corners, so we'll go ahead and MIG weld those up as well. Now for just a little tool up real quick, it's just a hook, wrap around that channel, put a bar on it, we can twist it into place. And it was pretty simple. This is the radiator attachment support proper, and it rivets into place. So we are going to rivet it back into place. And I could just weld it on, but we want it authentic. We're doing a little bit of a restoration here, so I'm going to heat these guys up. I've already got one rivet into place, and I've got this thing clamped in the vise a little up off the bottom. So the rivet goes all the way in, and as we hammer it down, the vise is acting as the rivet backer to flatten it out, and this around will just move down between the jaws. So that worked out really well. Okay guys, so I'm going to keep this video super short, and this is going to be about it. I'll do a little grinding, clean it up, and clean up the welds, that kind of stuff. But anyway, I wanted to say a big thanks to Rob and to Jumbo for the Touchmark and the sheath. And hope you enjoyed this one, guys. Okay guys, there you go. So really appreciate you sticking around, watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll get some more blacksmithing videos out real soon. So thanks again guys. We'll talk to you soon. Be safe. Take care. Bye-bye now.